Welcome back to the Sarcastic Traveller's Guide, your one-stop channel for learning how to survive your vacations with just the right amount of cynicism. Today we're off to Amsterdam, the city of canals, bikes and a certain smell in the air. Ready to blend in with the locals and navigate the Dutch maze without getting lost? Or worse, run over by a bike? Let's get started. First up, looking Dutch. The secret to blending in with the locals is simple. Embrace the minimalistic style, but make it look effortless. Think neutral colours, scarves and a bike. Preferably one that looks like it's been through a few too many winters. But whatever you do, don't wear a helmet. Safety might be important, but fashion is everything. Pro tip, practice your cycling skills. In Amsterdam, bikes rule the roads, and if you're not careful, you'll get taken out by a speeding grandma on two wheels. Remember, you're not just riding a bike. You're making a statement. Ride with purpose, even if you have no idea where you're going. And if you really want to pass as a local, throw in some Dutch phrases like dank je wel, thank you, and alstublieft, please. Sure, your accent will give you away, but at least you'll look like you're trying, and that's half the battle. Let's talk canals. With over 165 of them crisscrossing the city, Amsterdam's canals are like its veins. So naturally, you'll want to experience them. And what better way to do that than on a canal cruise? Yes, it's touristy, but it's also the best way to see the city from a different angle. Pro tip, skip the crowded covered boats and opt for a smaller open-air boat. You'll get a better view and you won't feel like you're in a sardine can. Plus, you can wave smugly at the tourists packed into those other boats as you glide by in style. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, rent your own boat. Just don't forget that steering a boat is harder than it looks, especially after a couple of Heinekens. But hey, it's all part of the experience. And when you inevitably get lost in the canal maze, just remember, all canals lead somewhere eventually. Probably. No trip to Amsterdam is complete without a visit to the Rijksmuseum, the crown jewel of Dutch art and culture. Here you'll find masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, and a bunch of other artists you've never heard of, but we'll pretend to know all about. Pro tip, head straight to the Night Watch, Rembrandt's most famous painting. Take a photo, post it on Instagram, and pretend you spent hours analysing its every detail. Then, quickly move on before your brain overloads on art. Trust me, no one's going to ask you about the other 8,000 pieces in the museum. And if you really want to impress, throw around terms like Dutch Golden Age and the chiaroscuro, while nodding thoughtfully at random paintings. Even if you have no idea what they mean, you'll sound cultured, at least to the other tourists. On a more serious note, the Anne Frank House is one of Amsterdam's most visited and important sites. It's a somber reminder of history and the resilience of the human spirit. And yes, you should definitely go. Just prepare yourself for the emotional weight of it all. Pro tip, book your tickets online well in advance. The lines are long, and trust me, you don't want to spend your time in Amsterdam waiting in line. Once inside, take your time to absorb the experience. It's one of those places where you can't just rush through, and you shouldn't want to. And while it might be tempting to take photos, resist the urge. This isn't the place for selfies. Instead, take a moment to reflect on the history and the lives that were lived and lost here. It's a sobering experience, but an essential one. The red light district. The place everyone is curious about, but no one admits to wanting to visit. Well, you're in Amsterdam, so why not embrace it? Just, do it with a bit of class. Or at least try to. Pro tip, don't gawk. The red light district is a neighbourhood like any other, with people living and working there. Respect their privacy and don't take photos. Trust me, you don't want to find out what happens if you do. And if you're just there for the cultural experience, take a guided tour. You'll learn about the history of the area, the laws around prostitution in the Netherlands, and probably get a few funny stories to take home. Plus, you'll look less like a clueless tourist and more like someone who's genuinely interested in Amsterdam's unique culture. We can't talk about Amsterdam without mentioning the famous coffee shops. And no, they don't just serve coffee. If you're curious about the city's cannabis culture, this is the place to explore it. But, responsibly. Pro tip, start slow. The stuff they sell here is a lot stronger than you might think. If you're a newbie, ask the staff for recommendations. And don't try to impress anyone by going for the strongest option. It's not a competition, and trust me, you don't want to spend your vacation lying on the floor of a coffee shop. And remember, smoking is for the indoors. Don't light up in public, or you'll quickly find out that the Dutch are not as chill as you might think. Instead, grab a seat, order a coffee or a snack, and enjoy the atmosphere. Whether you partake or not, it's an experience you won't forget. Though, you might not remember all of it. If you're a beer lover or just someone who likes a good tourist trap, the Heineken experience is a must-do. This interactive museum is all about the history of Amsterdam's most famous beer, and yes, there's a tasting at the end. Pro tip, pace yourself. The tour is fun and the beer is plentiful, but no one wants to be the guy who gets too tipsy before noon. Take your time, enjoy the exhibits, and save the heavy drinking for later. You'll thank me when you're not nursing a hangover by 2 p.m. And don't forget to grab a souvenir on your way out. Whether it's a personalized bottle or just a cheesy t-shirt, you'll want something to remember your time at the Heineken experience, even if your memories are a little fuzzy. In Amsterdam, biking isn't just a way to get around. It's a way of life. But before you hop on a bike and join the masses, there are a few things you should know. Pro tip, stick to the bike lanes. Sounds obvious, right? But you'd be surprised at how many tourists end up in the middle of the road, or worse, the sidewalk. Amsterdam's bike lanes are clearly marked, and the locals take them seriously. If you find yourself in the wrong place, you'll know it by the angry ringing of bike bells. And whatever you do, don't stop suddenly. The flow of bike traffic is relentless, and if you stop without warning, you're likely to cause a pile-up. Need to check your map or take a photo. Pull over to the side and do it out of the way. Trust me, the locals will appreciate it. The Jordaan district is Amsterdam's hipster haven, filled with trendy boutiques, cozy cafes and art galleries. It's the perfect place to spend a day wandering aimlessly or pretending you're a local who knows exactly where they're going. Pro tip, start your day with a stroopwafel from our local bakery. This syrup-filled waffle is a Dutch classic, and in the Jordaan, you'll find some of the best. Pair it with a coffee, and you've got the perfect fuel for a day of exploring. And don't be afraid to get lost. The Jordaan's charm lies in its narrow streets and hidden courtyards. So let your feet and your curiosity guide you. Who knows what you'll stumble upon? A hidden garden, an art gallery, or maybe just a really cool vintage shop. Whatever it is, enjoy the journey. When you're ready for a break from the hustle and bustle, head to Vondelpark, Amsterdam's most famous green space. It's where locals go to relax, and if you want to fit in, you'll do the same. Pro tip, pack a picnic. There's nothing more Amsterdam than lounging on the grass with some snacks, a bottle of wine, and a good book. And if you didn't bring your own, don't worry. There are plenty of places nearby to grab some food and drink. And if you're feeling active, rent a bike and explore the park on 2 wheels. It's a great way to see all the hidden corners of Vondelpark, and you'll blend in with the locals, who, by the way, are probably doing the same thing. Last but not least, the Van Gogh Museum. Home to the world's largest collection of Van Gogh's work, This museum is a must-see for art lovers, or anyone who just wants to tick it off their Amsterdam bucket list. Pro tip, go early or late to avoid the crowds. The Van Gogh Museum is one of Amsterdam's most popular attractions, and it can get pretty packed. If you want to actually see the paintings and not just the back of someone's head, timing is everything. And don't feel like you have to see every single painting. Van Gogh was prolific, and the museum is filled with his work. Focus on the highlights, like sunflowers and the bedroom, and then head to the gift shop. After all, nothing says I went to Amsterdam like a Van Gogh print. If you're looking to escape the city for a day, but don't want to go too far, Zaanse Schans is the perfect destination. This open-air museum is just a short trip from Amsterdam and offers a taste of traditional Dutch life. Windmills, clogs, cheese and all. Pro tip, take the train, it's quick, easy and drops you off right near the entrance. And once you're there, don't just stick to the main paths. Wander off and explore the lesser-known corners of Zaanse Schans. You'll find working windmills, traditional houses, and maybe even a clog-making demonstration. And don't forget to pick up some cheese on your way out. Zaanse Schans is famous for its cheese, and you'll want to bring some back to Amsterdam if you don't eat it all on the way. And there you have it, your extended sarcastic survival guide to Amsterdam. Whether you're dodging bikes, faking it as an art expert, or just trying to survive the red light district without looking like a total tourist, Amsterdam has something for everyone. So like, subscribe and drop a comment below with your most sarcastic travel tip. And remember, in the city of Canals, it's all about going with the flow. Literally, tot ziens, travelers.
All right, listen up. If you really need a vacation here, subscribe our channel now. It won't change anything, but at least you will be less useless.